Welcome to the February webinar. Today we have Paul Seeney and Catherine Cooper, our technical advisors, and myself, Amanda Kelly, the industry manager. We're broadcasting from the AOC Maths and English Conference in London. And the topic of today's session is OpenAssess.
This is an unusually content-heavy session, so there won't be the normal Q&A slot at the end, but we will be asking you to share some ideas ahead of next month's session.
We're going to dive into our main topic in a moment, as there's a lot of detail to go through. But first, just a quick reminder about the Maths and English Resource Hub, where you can find more about this webinar series and other useful information.
And as always, 3 quick headlines. We're still holding Maths and English networks in various parts of England. A complete list of confirmed dates and venues can be accessed via the link on this slide or via the Resource Hub. We will soon be launching, yes very soon, a new reporting tool that will enable performance data from paper functional skills exams to be accessed electronically. We'll be sharing further details about this in the coming days, so do ensure you're signed up to our email alerts. And don't forget, we've recently revamped both the eFunctional Skills and Smart Screen Maths and English learning resources. There's a useful overview for both of these on the Resource Hub. So what's OpenAssess?
It is a way for learners to practice their on-screen functional skills reading, writing or maths exams at level 1 or 2 in an environment that replicates the live exams. Teachers can then mark these practice exams and generate a scorecard so that the learner can see where they achieved marks and areas for development.
The OpenAssess platform is free for City Guilds customers who currently use the Evolve system to deliver live tests.
Teachers can take the functional skills practice assessments themselves and see what their learners see, and they can then create exemplar tests to go through with their learners.
Teachers can access and mark tests taken by their learners and review their results, and can set practice exams as homework if learners have access to computers at home.
Great preparation for the on-screen functional skills assessments. They can be taken on any computer at any time, building confidence in using the online tools.
When we launched OpenAssess in May last year, the Secure Assess primary and technical contacts at each centre were able to log into OpenAssess and create tutor accounts and additional primary accounts for staff at their centre.
It is worth noting that because the OpenAssess system relies on Flash to operate, it can only be used through Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge browsers.
There are 2 different sites for OpenAssess. The first is an admin portal where staff are registered and can review and mark tests.
There is also a user site, and this is where learners register themselves, they take the tests and review their scorecards. Teachers will also use this site to review candidate performance and to take their own tests.
So once a tutor has been set up, they will be able to access both sites with the same login details.
There are different role profiles in OpenAssess. Secure Assess primary and technical contacts automatically have admin access to the OpenAssess platform, and they can log in using their existing Secure Assess usernames and passwords.
Once in OpenAssess, they can then create new primary contacts and as many tutor accounts as needed for their centre.
If you are a tutor and don't currently have an OpenAssess account, you will need to contact your exams team or the person who looks after your City and Guilds Secure Assess account to create one for you.
From a learner's point of view, the first step is to create their own account.
It is possible for teachers to create accounts on behalf of their learners, but just make sure that they know what their username and password are once they've been set.
Learners or their teachers will need to enter the centre's Evolve installation ID to ensure the exams attempts are linked to their own centre so their teachers can mark them.
Please be aware the installation ID is a series of letters and numbers, which is different from the centre number, and this will be available from your exams team.
To take a test, simply select the subject and level from the menu. There is an option for learners to have more time to complete a practice test if required. They simply select the extra time button when setting up their account.
The practice test does not need to be taken in one sitting. If the learner needs to stop before the sample test is completed, they can click the cross in the right-hand corner of the test to close the window, rather than choosing to finish the test.
This will ensure that the system remembers where the learner got to and starts from that point when they resume the test, and the clock begins to run from that point forward.
Once the sample assessments have been marked, they will appear in the Results tab with the score and the option to review a scorecard.
The practice test scorecard gives learners a breakdown of their performance to review with their teacher or tutor. This is similar to the score report the learner would get for a live test.
To set members of staff up as tutors or primary contacts, this is done in the admin site by an OpenAssess primary contact.
Whilst there are quite a lot of fields here, not all of them require completion.
The most important information is the username and the email field, which both need to be accurate.
It's important to select which subjects and levels a tutor or teacher has access to, as this will affect which sample assessments they are able to mark.
The final tab is where the relevant role profile within OpenAssess is chosen.
The main difference between a tutor and a primary contact is that the primary contact can set up new members of staff in the system and a tutor can't.
The Marking Tests tab is where all the tests sit waiting to be marked.
A tutor will be able to see all the results from all learners at their centre, although it is possible to filter by name or by exam name.
Once marked, the test will move from the Marking tab to the Results tab, where the score and the result can be viewed.
The result will also be visible to the learner on the user OpenAssess site, where learners log in to do their tests.
Teachers will have a tutor view in the user site where they can access all of the tests for their centre.
It is important to note, while there are a variety of tools which can be used to annotate the candidate response in the Marking tab, these annotations do not appear in the learner's own copy of the test and cannot be seen when the test is reviewed.
And also, just to note, OpenAssess has been built on the same platform as our markers use to mark the live tests, so they will often use these tools for standardisation purposes.
Teachers can review the results for their centre through the user site, using the same login details as they do for the admin site.
You can choose to review a test, a function which is useful if you've created an exemplar test with model answers, as this could be shown to your learners in a classroom situation or in a one-to-one.
It's also possible to group learner results together to make up a group scorecard, as you can see here.
While it is useful to be able to go back and review all the tests your learners have completed, it is possible to archive tests so they are not visible and don't clutter up the screen.
So that was a quick tour of the OpenAssess platform. Linking from this, we have an exciting opportunity for learners who are ready to take their Level 1 Functional Skills Maths exam. In order to evaluate and improve the quality of our exams, we are conducting some research that provides evidence to demonstrate the quality of our qualifications and assessments and to identify areas where improvements can be made.
We're running this research project to investigate how different ways of designing functional skills tests can help us evaluate the quality of our tests and set standards across test versions. We're using the OpenAssess platform to carry out this project, and we've designed 4 different maths tests for this pilot. In order to make this a valid piece of research, we will need at least 250 learners to take each of these tests.
The test content, design and format will not replicate the reformed functional skills exams, but has similarities to the legacy qualification. However, this is an excellent opportunity for additional practice for learners working towards functional skills maths at Level 1 and for them and their teachers to receive feedback on their performance.
These pilot tests will be marked by City and Guilds examiners, and score reports will be automatically generated by OpenAssess for the candidates to review. The candidate can then email the results to their tutor.
We would like these tests to be taken by candidates who are ready or almost ready to take the live Level 1 Functional Skills Maths exam online.
In order for the candidate to access these trial tests, they will need to register for an OpenAssess account using a different username from the one they use to access the normal sample exam materials. When they register, candidates must use FS Pilot as their centre to access the pilot test and allow the City and Guilds examiners to mark their tests.
When a candidate has completed a test, they must select Finish when they've answered all the questions to ensure that we receive their responses. Each learner needs to randomly select and take only one of these tests. Candidates cannot take multiple versions of the tests or take the same version multiple times in order for the results to be valid for research purposes, so we will only mark the candidate's first attempt.
The candidate will see their results in OpenAssess within 7 calendar days of finishing the test.
Well, this was a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but hopefully you will find OpenAssess useful. Our customer services team will be able to assist you if you need any further help with OpenAssess or the Setting Standards pilot.
Which brings us to the close of this session. We've no time for questions this month, unfortunately. Next month we're going to be looking at the various admin and assessment conduct arrangements that apply to functional skills. And if you've any questions about what in particular you'd like us to focus on next month, or any ideas to future webinar topics, then please drop us an email to fsreform@cityandguilds.com. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.